Luz y Progreso, this is Sancista, Brujo Luis. So today on TikTok, someone messaged me about the term Zemiyaya and how it is used in Vodou, and if I could do a video on the term Zemiyaya or semiaya. So a lot of people think that the term Zemiyaya comes from West Africa, and it does not. The term Zemiyaya, as it is used in Vodou, does not come from West Africa. It comes from the Caribbean, right? From the Taino spirituality or the Taino people. So the term Zemiyaya can be broken down into two words. So the first term, Zemi, which can be said Zemi, Semi, Semis, right, was the Taino word for ancestral spirits that elevated into spirithood, and also spiritual forces of nature, los semis, the semi, similar to the term in Africa, West Africa, the Orisha. Now the second part of Zemiyaya is the term Yaya, which comes from a Taino semi-spirit that was known as Yaya. And the word Yaya means spirit with no spirit ancestor. Spirit with no spirit ancestor. Yaya. And the Semiyaya does appear in Taino mythology. He was married, some say, to the Semi Suimako, and from their union was birthed the spirit Yayael. And from this mythology, which comes from the gourd, we get the creation of the fish and the creation of the sea, the ocean, the Caribbean Sea. So the term Semiyaya is like saying spirits of the land, ancestral original spirits of the land, in this case of the Caribbean. So Zemiyaya is Taino spirituality, and you'll see various names for Taino spirituality, not just Zemiyaya or Semiyaya, but you will see other terms for Taino spirituality throughout the Caribbean, in Santo Domingo, in Haiti, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Borinquen. Every place has its term for Taino spirituality. So let me give you some examples. In 21 Division, Dominican 21 Division, you will hear Los Espíritus Taimani. You will also hear in Espiritismo Criollo, you will hear La Comisión India, La Comisión de los Espíritus Indios, La Corte de los Espíritus Indios, Espíritus Agua Dulce, sweet water spirits. And there is also a movement in Borinquen and in the Caribbean of the revival of the Taino spirituality known as Seminismo or Semiism. So the word Semiyaya is similar to the Jamaican word Obea or Obea man. And yes, the term Obea does have influence in West Africa, but it also has influence in Taino language, right? One of the terms for spirits or ancestors or the spirits of the dead was Upia, Opia, Opea. So the term Opia, Upia, Opea, depending on what part of the Caribbean, each one having their own dialect, would be the spirit of the deceased. Someone that lived a physical human existence and now roamed the world as a spirit. That would be Upia, Opea, Opea, and you can see the similarities in the word for Jamaican Obea or Obea man. Now, some people wrongfully use the term Maboya or Maboya to mean ancestral spirits. In Taino spirituality, a Maboya would be a bush spirit that came out at night, and they often are associated with misfortune, disease, and chaos. And you can tell the difference between a Maboya. They were never born in human form, so they often don't have umbilical cords, although they can appear in human forms to trick humans, but they are not the Opea, or Obia, spirits of humans. Now, Taino spirituality did not only influence Haitian voodoo, it influenced the Caribbean as a whole. And you will find a lot of its fingerprints, its impression, its imprint, not just in Haitian voodoo, but you will find it in Sanse, Puerto Rican Sanse, Dominican 21 Division. You will find its influence in Cuban Santeria. You will find its influence in Palo Mayombe, many of the spirits. You'll find them in voodoo and in all these other places. In Espiritismo Criollo, you will find a lot of its influence going down the Caribbean into South America, Umbanda, Candomblé, Maria Leonza, Espiritismo from Venezuela. So you will find that influence, that indigenous influence in all these creolized spiritual infusions, spiritual traditions, and religions. A lot of the Taino spirits are coming back into Espiritismo Puertorriqueño, creolized Espiritismo Criollo, and you will find a lot of the spirits, the original spirits, not just in Haitian Voodoo, but also in Dominican 21 Divisions. One of the greatest Loa in Haitian Voodoo, Papa Loco, right, has Taino spiritual or Taino influence, and another spirit in 21 Divisions is Anaisa. Now, some say that Papa Loco is an influence of the Orisha Iroko, and they're both honored in trees, especially the Ceiba tree, right? But Papa Loco comes from the Taino spirit known as Loquo. Loquo, one of the first created human spirits, often from the Locono people of the Lesser Caribbean, and he was a beike, a shemishishi, a shaman. And if you know the initiation in Haitian Voodoo, it is Papa Loco that gives you the sacred rattle. In Taino mythology, the first shaman, after he was healed of the shamanic sickness or an STD that this person had, the spirit of water in Taino spirituality, this being Guabonito, gave him the medicine of the sacred rattle. And it is Loco that bestows this rattle onto priestlihoods within Haitian Voodoo. So you see the Taino influence within Loco as well, Papa Loco. In 21 divisions, we have Anaisa, Anaisa Pie, La Anaisa Chiquitita. But you're going to see other spirits from Taino spirituality coming into not just a 21 division, but in Puerto Rican Espiritismo, El Gran Sol, Agüebana, La India, Yuisa. So many Taino spirits are coming into the creolized spirituality of the Caribbean. Agüebana, El Bravo, Yuisa, and so on and so forth. So what we call the Taino today came from many naciones, many tribes, many nations, and I'm just going to name a few. And of course, these were all from the Greater Caribbean and the Lesser Caribbean islands. So you have the Arawake, the Kalinago, the Igneri, you have the Guanatabes, the Siguayo, the Siboney. You have the Locono, Dulucayan, the Macorix. You have the Warao, the Washiro, which is Guajiros. You have the Caniba, the Canchibalo, which were the predecessors to the Jibaros of modern day Borinquen. And also, you also have the island Caribs, and this is just to name a few. So the term Zemiyaya has nothing to do with necromancy, black magic, witchcraft, pacts with spirits. All Zemiyaya means is veneration of the ancestral lineages, la raíz. So the term Zemiyaya is just the Taino Caribbean influence, the Taino Caribbean spirits, the original people, the raíz, the root of the people of the islands of the Caribbean, los Caribe. I hope this video answered that question. This is Ancestral Brujo Luis. Lo quiero mucho. Bye. Ciao. Hope you guys are enjoying the fall. Bye.